Oh yes, oh yes. What's up, legends? We are live now. This is the real one. This is the real one. Sorry about that. Had to I got my monitor that just dropped down here. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, guys. I'm not sure if I effed up here. Let me know right away. Should be live right now. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. Right away, you should. You should. Let me know right away, legends. If you can hear me. Yes. We are live. We are live. Just had a situation here. I had a situation. Let me know, guys, in the comment section right away. This was very unusual. First time that this ever happened. I had my cables getting tangled on my feet, and one of my monitors dropped in the floor. This is why it began the stream like this. And I was picking it up. Let me know if you can hear me. But anyway, that was a failed attempt for the live stream. Never mind. This is the real one. Let's dive in right away. Smash up the like button, guys. Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin right away. Understanding where we at the moment, what is going on, talking about the levels, the scenarios. It seems like that we are holding so far. Need to give a shout out to 𝗕𝗏𝗆 in the Legends trading community. Aiden, we're all taking a look at the same scenario here, looking for a possible higher low, dead cat bounce, continuation of the bounce to the upside. Preferably, we do get an epic wave here to the upside, but overall, we were looking at a three-wave structure. This was a dangerous zone. It was a dangerous zone. It did look like that the low was going to be claimed. This low right over here with this choppiness. However, we got some ever so slight bullish CVD divergence that saved the day. This was a scenario that was mentioned this morning in the Legends trading community. There is a possibility of coming down to that zone. Missed out on a short, was interested in a short here at the 50% Fibonacci zone. One more high and look for the leg down. We got the leg down anticipated, and overall looking for the daily open area. Maybe a sweep of this higher low on the lower time frames to get that leg back up to $61,800. It was a scenario that was mentioned in the Legends trading community. Also, 𝗕𝗏𝗆 providing the setup. Aiden taking a look at the setup as well. Absolutely beautiful. Looking here for this range to maintain and get the leg here to the upside. I want these highs to be claimed. They're very likely going to be claimed in the next coming minutes. In that long position from lower, from this zone, looking for these highs to be taken. There is a situation here. There is a situation about this high. Of course, we're very, very close in hitting it. However, we are just ever so slightly forming some bearish CVD divergence. We got some slightly higher highs right there. I think that it's just going to be taken. It does make sense based on the technical analysis, and I'll explain why that we are looking for slightly higher levels on the price of Bitcoin based on a ABC move or based in a 1, 2, boom, 3, right? We're going to absolutely rock it. That would be ideal, of course, if you're in any long positions from lower. However, what we do, what we are analyzing, and this has got me very disturbing. I don't think we're just going to lower high from there. I mean, we did slightly, at least on Bybit. I think we did not hit the highs here on the rest of exchanges, but it would not be a bad idea to just collect. Yeah, we haven't claimed the high. It looks like we're going to claim it right now. So I'm expecting that wick or that, pump through from this level to hit the first take profit zone. And depending on how we move to the upside, I am interested in short trades, and I'm going to explain right away throughout the live stream, because maybe we are going to get that possible short trade trigger throughout this live stream. And it's very important to understand what levels could reject. We do have a lower high resistance, right? Just a nice lower high resistance trend line that potentially could be hit in the next hour. Expecting that slight push to the upside to get to 62, 62.1 right now as we speak. Looking for that push to the upside. Hopefully not creating an aggressive swing failure pattern. But yeah, there we are. We're getting the push right now to the upside. Hopefully it will not reject. It will just continue pushing through. Because if we do reject from this high right now in the next coming minutes, I will close more than 50% of that long trade. Profit is a little bit higher. If we do reject right now from this level, I will be just taking profit safely just in case it was just a liquidity grab and it rolls down. But I'm going to explain why I actually prefer slightly higher levels. When we take a look at the movement down that we've had yesterday very aggressively, right? We say, you know, I did not catch a falling knife. I did not jump into a long position here. I did attempt a long position at 62K, bounced, got stopped out at a minor loss. Did say that I'm not going to try and catch the lows here, and I'm not shorting here at the lows. I'm going to wait tomorrow till we find a range, basically proof of support. And then I will look to attempt a short or either a long. I was very much interested in a short position throughout this lower high. And there's one main reason why I was interested in that short position. Basically, the main reason why I was interested in a short trade throughout this dead cat bounce of this aggressive drop that we had yesterday was because, right, we want to see a little bit of reaction here. We want a bit of more pumpy action. You know, we're probably just ever so slightly going to hit the 50% Fibonacci as we speak. We're just hitting 50%. Will it manage to get a small little push to the upside? But I was looking at the 50% Fibonacci possibly to be hit at this zone. And what was interesting about this wave A in this case, or a wave 1, right? You know, I'm looking for, you know, either this has been a wave A or a wave 1, and we're looking for a higher low, or we're looking for the lows to be claimed. It was an option for an ABC flat. Now the price is pushing through, so we're just going to analyze very carefully where we're getting the reaction, where we just consolidating. Are we just going to push through here to higher levels? It is also an option. You know, this might be a wave 1, wave 2, and we're just going to explode out. So we need to check reactions here at certain levels, and then we'll go through the different possibilities. But overall, the long setup that I got into here was purely based on the analysis of today, providing the video education. We also got 𝗕𝗏𝗏 and also Aiden providing the setup in the Legends trading community, which is basically this right over here. Of course, Aiden has a much higher projection than myself, but looking for that possible higher low at the $60,700, $800 range, where we have the daily open. We're going to see bullish CVD divergence, and you got the setup right over here in the Legends trading community, also backed up with the education and explanation on why are we looking at this kind of setup. For the moment, the price is just shooting through here. This is why, you know, where I would take the rest of the profits, I'm going to leave it open just in case price, you know, ends up forming a wave 3, right? And we're suddenly exploding out here, and we even coming to $64,000. We do not know. The price is just, you know, aggressively pumping for the moment. So there's no quick short entry, just like there's no quick long entry on the falling knife for me. We wait for a range, we wait for some waves, then we analyze very carefully the scenario, and we jump into either a short trade that was missed. This is the thing about being patient and being very, very conservative when you're trading. I was interested in a short position here in this zone. We front run the level, and there was one main reason why we front runned this area of interest that I had, which was basically the 50% Fibonacci. It was because we formed 5 waves to the upside on micro counts today. When we micro count the low from yesterday at $60,100, we had a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and we ever so slightly got above this high right over here, completing a potential micro wave 5, meaning that your A wave could be completed, or your 1 wave could be completed, and then you're looking for that pullback potentially to the 618, to the 78 Fibonacci. We actually held very nicely the 78, ever so slightly tapping the 78 Fibonacci with today's daily open. Daily open holding very, very nicely, a bit of choppiness, a bit of a wiki. We were just slightly forming some bullish CVD divergence on the rest of exchanges. So there were people shorting the market. And as you can see, there was a massive absorption here from the bulls, the big players, to smack out here to the upside. So having the bullish CVD divergence is very, very good to see, because then you know that there is a lot of, small little positions trying to push the price lower. When you get a big spike on the CVD, it is potentially some whale movements, right? Positions of 10, 20, 30 million, right? Big positions. But as you have just a few million, small little positions forming the slightly lower lows from the pivot low of yesterday, you're very much aware, just using CVD, a little bit of Elliott wave analysis and structure, and also levels of confluence, such as the daily open, then you very much can analyze here the scenario to get a possible bounce, and your target zone at a bare minimum is the highs right over here. Now, eventually you would expect slightly higher levels, okay? But I like to take some profits at my first target zone, which is claiming the highs, leave some open just in case we do follow through. Now, if I take 50% of profit at this level, where will I take the rest of profits, right? Well, for me, it is simple. I will take the profits if we get back below here, this level, because I can very much realize this could be the end of a 3-wave corrective structure. You're losing this level. I would want to see the price pumping through and maintaining this zone as support. And if we do have a rejection from the previous day point of control, we'll be breaking out from this lower high resistance trend line, and it could be a trap. It could definitely be a trap. All right. We could be hitting the golden pocket from the pivot high here to the pivot low. That is where we do have the previous day point of control. That's where we do have the highest volume node from yesterday from this consolidation as we were trending here to the downside. Previous day point of control, high volume node exactly at the 618 Fibonacci from this local drop from yesterday. So it's a big resistance zone. I think it's going to struggle. I think it could fake out. It could be the top. We could speculate on a short position. If we do get that rejection from the 618, it would be an aggressive scalp entry. Get into get the rejection, hit the level, stop loss instantly above the high created, because it could be a lower high, right? It could be a lower high, and you're getting the price rolling back down throughout today and tomorrow. I would love to see a reversal. It would be absolutely epic, but we're still very much downtrending, and we do have some resistance that we need to break. Now, analyzing the, I'm going to go through the comment section. I would just want to know right away if you guys can see me, if you can hear me right away through. I got inspired by Jason Casper thumbnail, as you can see. So now you're talking sense. Eric, my man, took a small long at 61.6k. Okay. You took a small long at 61.6k. If you are a conservative trader, a possible long trade, which, you know, 𝗬𝗏𝘆 likes to use, if we are looking for a possible ABC move or a 1, 2, 3, right? We're going to start breaking and ripping here, which I don't think is going to be the case. I think a lower high at some point is going to be possible. First level of interest would be 62,500, where we do have the previous day point of control from this consolidation. And it's also the lower high resistance that we have, right, from the trend line, as we can see from the last couple of days. And we also have the golden pocket from yesterday's highs to the lows, right? Golden pocket right there with previous day point of control. If we smash through this level, I will arguably discuss that we're forming a little bit of a kind of a bump and run scenario, and I would be targeting the 64K. Now that has been a little bit delusional in my opinion. We got a lot of resistance and we're downtrending, but if we do get that breakout successfully from lower high resistance trend line, the previous day point of control, the 618 from this very aggressive drop, then, you know, I have to believe that, hey, you know, this is looking quite impulsive. We could be actually forming a wave 3 here, which I think is the unlikely scenario, because we're looking at an extension to the 1.618, which would actually bring us, you know, to 63,500. That is where we do have the previous day value area high. It would make sense. It would make sense if we break through here successfully above the previous day point of control. Let me just zoom out on the 30-minute time frame and get you the session volume profile. You have it here with these horizontal lines. This is the levels that we are taking a look at intraday. And the previous day value area high, at least on the Bybit chart for me here, is basically where we have Tuesday's point of control and Monday's point of control right over there. We got the previous day value area high, and we do have the 1.618 extension, and that's only if we get above all of this resistance, which I think is, for the moment, I am not seeing that too possible till we break it, right? Once we break it, then I would say, okay, cool, it's bullish. You know, maintain long positions from lower. But if we do hit that level and we reject from it, would definitely speculate that, you know, we are forming an ABC and we are going to go lower, right? And overall, all of this massive bullishness is not going to happen. What is curious to see is that we have tapped the 1.618 extension from the pivot low that we formed yesterday to the pivot high of today to this last pivot higher low. And shout out to 𝗬𝗏𝘆, because he was talking about hitting the 1-to-1 extension. He just went live. He's actually probably live right now. But yeah, there he is. 𝗬𝗏𝘆, legends, bring the alpha. Shout out to you, 𝗬𝗏𝘆. I was just talking about you, about this long setup mentioned in the Legends trading community, looking at the 1-to-1 extension in that long position. Also, because of you, we actually a group of coaches analyzing different scenarios. I was talking about also this on my video update in the Legends. You are looking at the 1-to-1 extension, basically to be hit, which is just being hit right now as we speak, which you could arguably discuss. It's a take profit zone, but I'm going to leave a little bit of that position open that I do have. If we lose the highs here, then I would have to say, okay, this is looking quite bearish, and we could be flipping to look for shorting opportunities, because if that were to be the case, right, I got some certain levels of interest here to take a trading setup, and I'm very patient. The reason why I did not short here at 61,800, because I wanted slightly higher. I wanted a good level of confluence to be hit to then short, at least to sweep up this low over here. Just a nice intraday move of $500. I'm happy with that. But I missed the short position, right? It's just when you're patient and you're analyzing very carefully the situation, You need to have your plans, and if the levels don't hit your plan, you know, basically you just don't trade, right? So missed the short. We were getting the rollover. It's like, oh, you need to wait a few hours for your next scenario. And the next scenario was actually getting maintained as support at the daily open, at the point of control of this range, right? Also, Devil was highlighting this scenario. You know, you got the highest volume node between the price action of yesterday and today. You got a lot of support. And the price moves in waves. Your price moves in either 3 waves or moves in 5 waves. So there is massive speculation for a higher low here at support. You did form some slight bullish CVD divergence. And if you get this trade right, well, obviously you are speculating on the next wave up, preferably a third wave, and it's getting to the 1.618 extension. That would be the ideal scenario. Then then you're benefiting. Then you're getting the benefit of the third wave. But for the moment, more conservative. I was looking at the highs, getting a bit of a reaction right now, not quite hitting the 618. Which could be a big deal. It could be a big deal if we do not break out from all of this resistance, previous day point of control, the 618 Fibonacci from the local drop, the lower high resistance trend line. This is kind of the point that confirms, if you break out above this 618 and the previous day point of control and the lower high resistance, it gives me confidence, if you break out nicely, that you're very likely going to have an attempt in taking out this high. However, we got another resistance zone, which is the previous day value area high with the 0.88 Fibonacci. That there is, you got the 1.618 extension. It's a classic zone of, possible rejection, because that is like a common target zone for your wave 3. And all of that Fibonacci confluence, 0.88 Fib. The previous day value area high is sitting right over here at 63,400. The 1.618 extension, this blue horizontal line that you have here, taking a look at this possible wave. If you are ambitious and you're saying, I'm looking for 64K to be hit, I would be cautious, because you're very likely going to get rejected from this area at 63.4, 63.5. Probably not quite hitting this high and then getting a pretty decent pullback. So it's going to be interesting if the price breaks out here, because this is an extremely technical zone where the price, with a very strong pullback or with a small one, I don't know, I don't care. I know it's a rejection point. There's a lot of confluence here. I know it's the possibility before taking out this high, if it ever does so, because this could come all the way up here and start rolling down extremely aggressively, right? A lot of the traders are going to be expecting this high to be taken, but you start hitting a wall of resistance and you get a decent pullback before maybe taking it, right? Overall, it doesn't matter. This is a zone that I'm very much interested for a possible rejection if we do get the breakout. Then we'll have to analyze the pullback, okay? Depending on the pullback, I might be interested in a long, I might not be interested in a long, because the pullback maybe is just getting extremely aggressive. So we just don't know till we have the next move, right? In trading and technical analysis, this is my new phrase. The most important move is the next one. So yesterday when we got this drop, falling knife, I had a quick, falling knife long attempt at 62K. It did get a bounce of $700, but then came back down. Still very volatile. We got the recent news yesterday about war and all of this, panic moment. And I said, hey, I'm going to sleep and I want to analyze tomorrow what kind of range we are forming. This was the range that we formed. It made sense as this potentially being an A wave in a 5 move to the upside, a wave A or a wave 1. And then we are speculating on this pullback. This pullback right over here was the zone. You got daily open, you got potential bullish CVD divergence. It all made sense to speculate, to look for the ABC wave or the 1, 2, 3 wave, right? So far, so good. So the next scenario, and this is the thing here. I am willing to speculate on a possible short, and this is going to be a difficult decision because if we break out from lower high resistance here and it just suddenly starts smashing through, we know that we could get a relatively quite, parabolic move of another, $1,000 potentially. It's not going to be an easy range. It's kind of a fake out just because we have previous day point of control, just because we have the lower high resistance. We have the golden pocket from yesterday's highs to the lows. Very much the most respected Fibonacci retracement is the 618, as we know. It's going to be an interesting zone. It will be a make it or break it moment right over here. It's not going to be an easy decision. The only aggressive short trade that there would be here with very good risk management is actually hitting the golden pocket, the previous day point of control, basically from this consolidation. Well, now it's not here, but we'd have to go with a session volume profile. It's basically looking at the entire drop. The highest volume node, at least on Bybit, is sitting here, where we have all of the confluence zones. So an aggressive short entry would be as soon as you tap the 618, you hit it, and you start rejecting beneath it for a possible trigger rejection short. But it's going to be a dangerous zone without a doubt. But your risk management is good. You can have a relatively tightish stop loss, but it is dangerous just because if you overlap this pivot and you start breaking through, it's probably going to be a successful breakout, and we could actually get an extra pump of $1,000 here. But without a doubt, it's the zone where it could reject the 62,500 to 600 range. If we break out, then, for me, there's no short trades to be taken anywhere in this zone. I just really see the price pushing through to get to the previous day value area high, which is sitting at 63,500. So this zone is going to be a no trade zone for me, unless you want to try and speculate a successful breakout here, which could be a scenario. You might flip this level to support the previous day point of control. I mean, if you do have some very good internal bullish CVD divergence, you could look for that leg up. It is possible. Just like 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 likes, and I'll go through the comment section right away, legends. Just like 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 likes a lot, and I really like this kind of strategy if you are conservative and you want to see a little bit of confirmation. Instead of trying to basically catch the lows here, I mean, if you have your stop loss down here, it doesn't really matter. You just get in, and if you get stopped out, then it is what it is. This is still a 3-to-1 risk to reward trade setup. But if you want to be on the conservative side, if we are believing that we are forming either an ABC movement here or a 1, 2, 3, which would be absolutely epic right now if we start breaking through major resistance zones, if you did get into a long position from lower levels, speculating on that possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A conservative way to, instead of trying to catch the lows or the daily open, right, or the 7A or the SFP from this low over here that was mentioned also in my morning update, it could potentially come as low as the 7.8, right, and SFP from these higher lows that we formed early this morning right over here at 60,600, and nobody wants to long here. Nobody wants to long when you're in a very aggressive downtrend. Nobody wants to get into a long position. Matter of fact, we are actually getting retail shorts entering here. We could see that on the data. We could see it on the CVD. So, this is a zone that you're just very much aware. Look, if you take the low, you take the low, you get stopped out. If you push through, then, you're making, good risk to reward. You could leave some open in this case, just in case the price does follow through and you end up forming a wave 3. And, which is coming up at least to 63,500. So, if you wanted to get into a conservative long trade scenario here, just for educational purposes, and I'm going to take out here 𝗬𝗏𝘆𝗽𝗫's conservative way of getting into trade setup, and it's, well, conservative. It's actually being, more confident in the setup, because we've been speculating right throughout all of the coaches today, looking at this same setup. Missed out on the short position. We front run some levels that I was interested in, but then came up here and managed to get into this really nice long position. If instead of trying to catch the low here, a kind of an easy way, right? And shout out to you, 𝗬𝗏𝘆, because this would have been absolutely legendary to basically, and we'll talk about a possible rejection from this high over here, because this could be quite bearish. I will go through that right away, guys, because we could be getting a possible short trade if we do reject from this pivot in the next coming minutes. I think it will be looking quite bearish. Then I would say, okay, we've completed an ABC here. If we break down right now, boom, like this, I'm going to say, okay, guys, we're very likely going to go to lower levels. It's all level to level. The most important move in trading and crypto and analysis is the next one, right? The next important move is the next one. So, as long as we're above this high, I would say, hey, I'm still quite bullish. I'm going to give the impulsive move an attempt. I'm going to give a chance for the bulls to continue stepping in and push through. But if the bears step in right now and we lose this level, then I'm going to say that there is a high chance that we are going to come back down to these lows from yesterday. And we'll talk about the scenario right away in the next coming minutes, especially if we do lose that low. Would be locking, most of the profits, just realizing that it could be a sign of weakness, and we could have ended this ABC, which hit to perfection, the 1-to-1 extension. And this is something that 𝗬𝗏𝘆 pointed out. 1-to-1 extension, absolutely classic. Fibonacci is absolutely magical. Fibonacci is the magic. Definitely one of the most important tools when you're doing your analysis and you're basically looking for your trading setups and take profit zones. So, yeah, going straight to the point here. Sorry, guys. Going straight to the point based on 𝗬𝗏𝘆𝗽's scenario to get into a trade setup. If you are speculating on this to be an ABC or a 1, 2, 3, and you're going higher, instead of trying to catch the low, right, or getting in here, I mean, if you put your stop loss here, it doesn't really matter. But if you want to be more confident, you wait for the breakout of the trend, the local downtrend that we have been forming, to get the breakout. You're not going to get the best entry, but you can manage risk with stop loss beneath the trend, close to the lows, and speculate that you are going to get that follow through. So there's many ways. The analysis is the same, but some people can long here, some on the breakout, and looking for that projection to happen. So that is that. If the price does reject from this point and it starts losing the highs of today with an aggressive move down, I'm going to have to say that the probabilities of the price pushing down here is very, very likely. Very, very likely that you're going to push down to lower levels. And there could be a shorting scenario. And that all has to do with this, right? Because throughout the last few days, we have been speculating on the possibility of forming 5 waves down with with the 5th wave being an expansive 5th wave, right? Where the 5th wave is the largest wave. It is larger than the 3rd wave. And if that were to be the case, I would really want this pivot to be hit at some point, because I am a slightly higher time frame bearish, and there's one main reason why I'm higher time frame bearish here, guys. When we zoom out, let me just get some levels out of the way. And we take a look at this ascending channel, and we take a look at the big fat range that we formed throughout the last few months. Price on a higher time frame, on lower time frame, moves in a 3-wave move or in a 5-wave move, right? Can be a very complex 3-wave move. It can be easy, but we have been moving in 3-wave moves throughout the last couple of months, doing counts, micro counts. And when we do take a look at this movement to the downside that started on Friday, last Friday, where we topped out here slightly above 66k, we've only formed 1 wave on the higher time frame. It's only a 1 waver, right? You got a big aggressive move. You got 1 wave, meaning that a movement here to the upside to break above 66k is highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely till you form a kind of a 3-wave move, just like you have been doing here, here, and here. So the question is right now, has this impulsive move finished? We could arguably discuss yes, especially if you break out from a lower high resistance. If you start pushing through and you overlapping these pivot lows and it looks, very, very nice, could be this the end of this impulsive move, and we're already starting either an impulse here or a corrective structure to then drop back down, so we can complete a 3-wave move, at least at a bare minimum. Could it be a 5-wave and then we're going down to 50k? Well, we'll have to see how the waves develop in the next coming days. But it wouldn't make sense. Any breakout here for me would not be bullish. Any breakout to the upside will still be corrective, just because of the huge move that we've had throughout the last few days. It's very impulsive. You got some pretty aggressive volume here kicking to the downside. Even though the price, we could easily go all the way up to the 7/8 Fibonacci even. We could even go all the way up to 65k. I would really, really see this zone as a rejection point. I don't even here, even 64k or 65. I will be looking for some shorts, especially if we move in a very 3-wavy structure, to then look for the next leg here to the downside, just like we have been doing throughout the ranges, throughout the last few months. We're in a very, very complex long range right now, and until the price gets some steam, I'm not going to believe that all-time high is going to be hit next week. It's just not unlikely to happen. Or 50k, right? 50k is not going to be hit next week. We're going to be ranging. The price moves in waves, and we need to analyze those waves, of course. So the main reason why, for me, it is simple, is this move to the downside is very impulsive, and it's unlikely that this is any type of corrective structure and we're going to shoot up here by next week to above 66k. It's just unlikely. It's not too possible. Yeah, I do think that 64k could be hit, maybe 65k. But after this breakout from this channel, after the impulsive move that we've had throughout the last few days, it is extremely highly likely that the price, even though I know a lot of people will be getting excited once we hit 64K, and it might even reach 65K, that's when you're gonna start seeing a lot of people be bullish again. This was only a drop, it was all manipulation, but the price moves in waves, the price moves with structure, and it's highly more likely, even though if you do get to 64 or to 65K, that this is going to be the zone where the price tops out. And we are going to be looking very carefully at this zone because we could be wrong. Maybe the price V-shapes and it goes to 67K. It's going to be an unlikely scenario, but we're going to be very patiently waiting for some resistance, some proof of support, analyzing the structure that is formed as we hit these levels, if they are hit, okay, we're talking about speculation right now, you know, even though if the price rockets to this level, I will not be bullish here. So that's a bit of a, you know, bit of the zone that I would be interested. Obviously, the lower highs from yesterday is a classic swing failure pattern, just because if you come all the way up here, I mean, you would have to come to the conclusion that this impulse has finished, because there is a possibility that this impulse has not finished if we do not start breaking out from lower high resistance and the 618 Fibonacci and the previous day point of control. If we do not break above successfully 62,500 in the next coming hours and we lose this lower high, we're coming back down to the lows with extreme high probability. I'm not going to say we are going down there, but there is a high chance we will. So it is important to break all of this resistance. Previous day point of control, the 618 Fibonacci, the lower high resistance trend line, to speculate in a bump and run, if you will, to get that push through. And I think it is possible. For the moment, we are trending. And I do see this this zone potentially rejecting. And if we lose the highs from today with an aggressive move, guys, I have to say this is it. We're coming back down to the lows with high probability. We could be speculating on a kind of a day trade swing short. And the ideal scenario here would be getting a good loss of the level, right? Get the break back down. And then this bounce, I will have to speculate that we are forming another wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 to sweep up the low. And I would want to see a retracement. This might lose the level very aggressively and just waterfall. It's very possible when we're in a downtrend, the price moves faster to the downside than it does to the upside when we're downtrending. So I would want to see a bounce, but if we lose this level, we have to speculate that this has been an ABC and the price will push back down to the lows. And as we lose this level with an intense move down, which probably could happen throughout the stream, I want to see a slight corrective structure to maybe backtest this level to hit the 50% 618 fib from the local drop. Preferably we form bearish CVD divergence, right? We want to see some longs entering right there as we do get the rejection. So if we do get that leg down, boom, backtest this level, I want to see higher highs on CVD, right? Even though if they're ever so slight higher highs from these lower highs right there, that will be a golden short trade to look for the lows of yesterday to be hit. And the setup would be looking like something like this. But I need the loss of the highs. I need a big loss. You know, we can tap it. We're just ever so slightly tapping it as we speak right now. But I think it could be the case. Getting into a short right there was a bit aggressive. We're just about to lose the highs right there. I'm going to lock some more profits because I don't like it. And the short, I will jump into a short later on if necessary. we'll leave a little bit open just in case it does find some support and it doesn't break down. But if it does break down, we got a possible setup here. There is a possible setup back down to the lows. It will be, for me, a kind of almost a confirmation that this has been an ABC. And if we do get some aggressive volume and we do drop down to 61,500 to 61,400, there will be a first sign of weakness. And, you know, I would say that we're coming back down to the lows from yesterday. So let's see how we break down here, or if we're just going to hold, we're just going to chop. If we choppy, then I have to say, you know, no, maybe it is going to hold. Maybe we've formed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need an aggressive move down, and then, you know, the bounce is going to be looking very good for the back test, because I would really speculate on the next leg to the downside. And there's one main reason why this could happen. There's one main reason why this could happen. And the main reason why this could happen is that this impulsive move to the downside has not finished. And the only way I could come to realize that if we start breaking down, because you're like, hey, I thought that we finished an extensive wave 5 here. Wave 5 has been the largest one. Shouldn't we be getting a nice reversal to at least $64,000, right? That would be kind of the classic zone for a, you know, a dead cat bounce, a large dead cat bounce. Then, you know, what happens if we do take the low from this, if we do start rejecting and we don't break out resistance and we just, you know, what if we do take this low? Will it be a 7-wave Elliott wave? No, that does not exist. So you have to come to the conclusion that potentially you are still inside of a very aggressive third wave down, and you formed 1, 2, 1, 2 right over here. So that means that the third wave has not finished, because you have formed 1, 2, and then you've got this would be a very, very aggressive third wave without a doubt. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got the 3-wave structure here. You're not managing to break resistance. You're not managing to break the previous day point of control. There is a lot going on here. You want to break out through 62,500. If you don't, then we really are speculating on the possibility that the third wave has not finished. That is, if you do claim the low. Then if you claim the low, this would be looking quite bearish. This means that we are in an insane, massive drop. And I would say, you know, we're probably even going to $58,000, $57,000 throughout the next coming days. Especially if we take this low. If we take this low, we are going lower despite the bounce that happens. We're just in a very, very aggressive downtrend. So the first sign to speculate on that scenario would be losing this high aggressively. Not, we're holding it as support right now. It is, you're just at the level. Would I say it's a good long position? No, I would say this is a good long position. I would say the breakout of the trend line here was a good long position. For a scalp long to come and claim the highs one more time. There is something interesting about this. There is something interesting about micro counting this movement to the upside. And that is potentially, if we do get back up, you could form one double top here because you formed 5 waves to the upside. Micro counting. If I would say that this is not a bad speculation short, because if this ends up being an ABC, you're in an epic trade here. You could get into an epic trade with, you know, you could risk $1 here potentially to gain 10, right? Just so you know about the risk management. And, you know, this was the main reason I was interested in a short position here, because I very much realized that we possibly completed I mean, maybe this, you could micro count already here. I mean, micro count is a pain in the ass because you could see this as a wave 1, 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then this wave 5, and you're already finished, and you are going to come start breaking down now. But, you know, you would give it a chance. You would give it a chance here. If you do not overlap this pivot and you maintain here as support and you come back up to the highs, you could really speculate that this could be a top just at 62,400. And that is a good double top based on the wave counts. And that was the whole reason why I wanted to short here, but I wanted slightly higher levels to be hit. We're getting the breakdown now. If we overlap this pivot, with the breakdown, the bounce is going to be a good possible short trade, in my opinion. Just managing risk. If we overlap this pivot, then this is done. This for me will be done. Then, you know, I will be waiting patiently. I want to get into a very good scenario, but I would be looking at something like this. If we do get the breakdown, because you're overlapping this first little wave 1, that means that this has possibly completed as an ABC. And that was the whole main reason why. This could still hold. There's no big major breakdown. You could test a high. I think this could be a possibility. If you SFP from the highs here or failed auction, this could definitely be a really good risk to reward trade setup, because you are speculating on an ABC scenario right over here. You would be speculating on bang, bang, bang. And if you want to be I got into the top, well, you know, your chances here, if that next wave up fails to break the recent highs, because then you got a really good setup here. Only if you reject from the highs. If you break out from the highs and you maintain, you don't take the short. You take the short only if you reject and you can manage your risk speculating on that intraday double top scenario. And going back to this kind of way of analyzing, right? You got the lower high resistance, you got the previous day point of control, we got all, we got a lot of stuff here that could give us that good rejection. If we do, the main reason why I was looking for a short position here was purely based on the micro counts as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double top. 1, 2, 3, 5 double top, smack down. I wanted to see slightly higher, to be honest. I wanted to see slightly higher. I missed out on this short, but it doesn't matter. Got into a long here. It doesn't matter. There's a trade around the corner. So if this speculating is an ABC, but we get the price bouncing, even better. If we break through, higher we go. If you double top, you can speculate in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finishing the ABC move. Getting huge amount of resistance, lower high trend line, previous day point of control. We might even not reach it. So it's a good setup, without a doubt. It is without a doubt a good setup to manage risk. You don't get wrecked here. All our trading plans that are mentioned on the stream or in the Discord are with very good risk management and good risk to reward. We don't get wrecked here. You get stopped out, and if your trade comes to fruition, then you're making some pretty significant gains in this case for this scenario. I don't like this. I don't like this as a scalp long. I don't like it. Just realizing that we probably could have finished, the C wave right there, because we've hit the 1-to-1 extension already from this pivot low to the pivot high of today to this pivot low. We have hit the 1-to-1 extension already, common for a C wave. So long in here is, just not really an option for me. Even though it does bounce and it breaks through, then okay, I would have to say okay. The only scalp long here, you know, you would have to put your stop loss at this pivot high. That would be your invalidation. As soon as you hit this high, then it ain't going to be looking good at all. You either waterfall or you get a bounce and then you continue down. So if you wanted to enter a scalp here, you know, the risk to reward ain't too huge, but it would have to be looking something like this. You know, I think it's a relatively, you know, you are flipping this level of resistance into support. It is getting a reaction, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Just realizing that this C wave could have been finished right now. I would rather remain a little bit patient to either claim the high and fake out. Then you do know that, hey, maybe this was the top. If you fake out from here, it's a golden trade. It's a golden trade to come back down to the lows from yesterday. And if you break out, then you go to higher levels. If we break down and we overlap this pivot and we get a significant move down in the next coming minutes, this is going to be looking very, very interesting. For a back test, if we form bearish CVD divergence, it's going to be the absolute golden trade. If you get people long in here on the rejection and you form higher highs while you're coming up to back test this level, you know, I will if I'm awake and I'm around, I'm definitely gonna have an attempt here for the short back down to the lows. If we break the resistance high, we would have to come to the conclusion that we are possibly in an impulsive third wave. Possibly, right? If we break out successfully from this high, we start getting above 62,500 very aggressively, which I don't think will be the case. Could be wrong. It might be more bullish than I think. Then I would have to believe that we have a high chance in coming to the previous day value area high and the 1.618 extension, which is at 63,300, 400. So this zone really for me is not going to be an interesting trading zone. I realize about the fake out. If it fakes out, then it's a good attempt for a short. If it breaks through, it's probably not going to get much retracement. It will probably just get a pretty decent pump all the way up to the 1.618, where we do have the previous day value area high zone. Yeah, this would be a no interest zone for trading for me in this area, because it could push through very aggressively, and if it double tops from the local highs of today that we just formed in the last hour, it is a possible short trade back down to the lows. So I mean, I'm going to go through the comment section here, guys, just focusing very, very carefully on the intraday scenarios. You know, this is really what we do. We analyze very carefully the possible scenarios intraday. Remember, anybody that is not aware, the World Series of Trading, the registration is live. And for these 2 days of registration, the early birds, you do get a $50 extra bonus when you register. So if you register to the World Series of Trading, join my team. I got a link down below, guys, that goes directly to join my team. But if you join in the next 2 days, right, 1 day and 17 hours, you get a $50 bonus directly into your futures account, right? An extra $50 if you register on the World Series of Trading. Join my team. There's a $10 million prize pool. We usually do pretty good. Last year, you know, we ranging in between top 10, top 20 out of hundreds of teams. We have definitely a chance to get a piece of the cake of the $10 million prize pool distributed throughout the team if we do keep in the top 10 position, okay? So you do have the link down below to register. If you haven't registered for Bybit yet, make sure to claim that $500 airdrop bonus as well that you do have. But I want you to join my team. That's the most important thing for me. Join the team and let's absolutely crush it. I will be doing, I'm not sure if I would do too much YouTube live streams and looking for setups, because You know, who knows? Maybe some people are not in my team watching the stream, right? So we're going to definitely provide it more to the Discord. We might do some live streams also for the free Discord, which you also have the link down below. Okay, it's the first link to join the Discord, where you do get, guys, you do get the piece of the cake right over there. Look at Devil already sharing, you know, the setup provided today. I provided it in the video, giving the explanation on why this could get the bounce. And we have Devil here providing, and also Aiden, the setup right over there. Very, very nice. So we are losing the level. It is not looking too great. It is not looking too great. I'm going to take the rest of the profits if we tap this low, and I'm going to start thinking about short positions. It would have been nice to get that move to the upside, but we've already hit the 1.1-to-1 extension. We hit lower high resistance. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, there's a trade around the corner. I always like to say, you know, if we do hit this high and if we do double top, you know, I will get into a short at the highest level possible, right? That would be epic, right? But if I don't get what I want, realizing the technicals and the scenarios, right, this local double top would be very interesting indeed. Then I realized the sign of weakness. We overlap this pivot. We're breaking down beneath this low. I would still remain patient. We get a drop like this. I have to say that this is the first wave one and an impulsive move. Very likely I want to see a nice, easy, corrective structure. I want to back test, if possible, of this high from today. I want bearish CVD divergence forming, right? Get the bang bang and then get the bang bang here. Higher high, lower high, back test. We're in for the game. We're looking for the lows of yesterday to be hit, potentially at some point in between today and tomorrow. But not yet. Not yet. We need to lose some levels. We need to see some weakness. We need to see the bears kicking in right now, pushing the price down. And I have to say that this, for a short, was quite aggressive. I mean, this was an aggressive short trade. If you did manage to catch the top here, congratulations. Because you could be in a very good position. You know, if we start losing this range, I would definitely maintain that short to possibly even come down to the lows between today and tomorrow. You'll be having a very, very good trade. The situation here was a bit of stop loss, right? We'd have to put it above the previous day point of control, above the 618 Fibonacci. You know, I guess it's possible. I guess it would have been possible to speculate here on the short with stop loss, give or take at 62,500, 62,600, and you know, you are looking for the breakdown possibly. A bit aggressive as you're pumping into the level, but it was an option just because if this is the ABC and we have hit the 1-to-1 extension, you could have speculated on that short right over there with stop loss just above point of control or 618. You got lower high resistance. It was not a bad short. A bit aggressive, but anyway, you know, definitely it was definitely a shot. Let's go right away through the comment section. My bad, I haven't taken a look at the comment section throughout the last hour. Sorry guys, my apologies. I'm just very focused on the technical analysis. What are the terms and conditions to join the World Series of Trading? I think it's just you need to have $500 to join. I think it's a minimum requirement. $500 on the account ready, and that is the minimum requirement. $500 and you're in, baby. So yeah, Mariela, thanks for joining. Thanks for letting the people know what are the minimum requirements. Seb, my brother, how are you doing, my man? I can see also Aditya around. I did see Devolt that did an epic live stream before. Why, down below, why this level, wave 1 is lower at 61,670, 61,670. Why is this level, wave 1? It's just a micro count possible wave 1. Why is it a wave 1? This, you mean this level here? Why would this be a wave 1? Well, it's basically because this has been the low. I'm not sure if this is what you are asking. Why would this be the wave 1? Well, because it starts from here and it ends up here. This is corrective structure. Yeah. Let's put a bit of music on in the background. Let me go continue through the comment section. We are breaking down. We're just about to overlap this pivot. If it does break down successfully, I would arguably discuss that the price is looking bearish and we're going to lower levels, legends. So yeah, let me just go through comment section. Let's see if we do get that breakdown with a bit of volume. And yeah, obviously what I want to do is start locking, you know, the small amounts of profit that I have left, because this ain't looking too great. I'll leave a baby position open, just for whatever could happen. But it's not looking too great right now. Not looking too great. And I would be interested in actually looking for a short based on what I mentioned, right? The thing is about this a downtrend and selling pressure. The thing about it is, you know, we might not get a good pullback to enter the short, unfortunately. But I don't want to jump into a short here, because then you get the bounce and whatever, you know, anything could happen, right? Very, very selective. We break down from here. It would be absolutely epic to get that bounce to backtest this zone. That's you know, and you know, preferably if you do get a bit of bearish CVDs, then it'll be ideal to look for that next leg down. Because yeah, it does look like that this is the highest probability at the moment. If you wanted the bulls to step in, you wanted to break out from here, right? You could not get above this high and start, you know, dancing around here, losing the level. This is not good. This is definitely not good for the bulls. Bulls should have pushed through here throughout the last hour. Let's go right away and continue with the comment section. I challenge before election, we will break all-time high in BTC, mark my words. Before the election in November, so we got about I don't know what we have 30-40 days till the election, and we'll be breaking all-time high before the election. Says believe it or leave it. Wow, that's without a doubt very, very bullish, very, very bullish. So you are saying that when is the election? When is is it the 10th of November or the 20th of November? I really don't know, guys. Let me know. But you are basically saying that we will be hitting all-time high by November, right? Before the election, right? So say 5th of November, 4th of November. Let's take a look at the possibilities here. I have to say it is definitely possible. Before the elections in November, that we are going to hit all-time high. Yeah, we definitely could. We definitely could, without a doubt. We definitely could. It could start getting pretty parabolic by late October. We definitely could. We definitely could. We're going to leave it that way. It could start getting pretty intense by the end of October. I'm going to mark your words right away on my wall here. I believe you. I believe you. Believe it or not. Or believe it or leave it. Mark my words. Your words will be marked. Believe it or leave it. I believe you that we could be hitting all-time high. DXY looks like it will be pumping the next days. DXY has been absolutely epic. The DXY has been pumping throughout yesterday and today very nicely. It did maintain the lows from December. It did maintain the lows from December very, very nicely throughout the last few weeks. Bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Nice bounce up. It is holding. It is holding. It's wanting to break above the value area low of the entire trading zone of the last 2 years. It could push through, and we could be looking for a back test of this higher low support. And then we'll go from there, right? But we want DXY to be bearish, preferably in the next coming months, if we want to see Bitcoin hit all-time high, which is very possible because we got some money printing activity going on. Fed news, US Fed prints 2.35 billion, which is not lot. We did print trillions of dollars when we had the C19 crash back in 2020. Months afterwards, there was trillions of dollars being pumped into the market. It was the biggest liquidity injection that we have ever seen in the history of mankind. Back in back in 2020, after the C19, there was trillions. I think it was $9 trillion in a matter of a few months being printed and pumped in. A nice injection of liquidity. So $2.3 billion doesn't seem like much compared to what we did back in 2020. That was some serious, aggressive money printing going on right there. Over $9 trillion in a few months. That's 9,000 billion, quadrillion. 2.3 billion is not that much. It's just a little liquidity injection. So this is not much in a nutshell. Agreement to bail out banks. Some small little printing activity, small little injection right over there. But we do know that we are in a liquidity cycle. We do have liquidity cycles. The M2 Global Liquidity Index. We have seasons of printing. We have seasons of not printing and interest rates going up. And looking at this, everything moves in cycles. My life and your life. We have a cycle. We're born, we live, we die. It's a cycle. So what we do see here, and I need to stop talking about stupid things, but it is what it is. We do have these cycles. We can see them. They're approximately a 4-year cycle as well, where we suddenly have lots of liquidity pumped into the market, then down again, then up, then down, then up. This aggressive pump that we had was in 2020, right? After the C19 crash. This massive liquidity cycle happened in 2020. It was crazy. That's when we had the bull market. We had stocks going up. Yes. It was insane. It was great. Now we've seen that decrease throughout the last 3-4 years, right? Since late 2021, 2022, interest rates going up, massive liquidity crunch, and it's gone down a lot throughout the last 2 years. And now we are supposedly, obviously, decreasing interest rates, money printer going on. The question is, will we have a crap liquidity cycle and we're just going to get a few billion injection, right, in the next coming months, just like one that we had back here in 2013 and 14? There's not much liquidity getting pumped here. So will it be a bad one or will it be an epic one where we're going to get trillions back into the system, right? We really don't know, but we are in that liquidity cycle, and that's why we have a good reason to believe that this bull run should continue right through Q1 of 2025. That's when we should start seeing, all-time highs. Maybe it's going to be next month. I do believe it or leave it in the comment section here. Andy is always bearish. No, amigo. I got into $100,000 long position, as you can see on the thumbnail. I'm keeping it, Jason Casper style. And 𝗬𝗏𝗍𝗏, obviously 𝗬𝗏𝗍𝗏 with millions. But I'm bearish, but I'm in a long position, right? We are traders. We look for longs and shorts, okay? But I'm just keeping it real here. It's mid time frame bearish only. Okay, I am bullish on the higher time frame. I do believe very much from the bottom of my heart that we are going to be hitting all-time high in the next coming months. I'm only bearish throughout what has been forming throughout the last few days based on the analysis. So apparently I'm usually bearish. That's what we get here from some people. Andy is always bearish. Well, I'm in a long position. You know, I did get into a long position, a very successful long position. We are traders, but higher time frame, this is what we talk about on YouTube most of the times. The analysis does suggest that even though if the price were to go to 64, 65K in the next coming days, that a lower high is very, very much likely. You know, it has to be said. So anyway, let's continue right away through the comment section. And I haven't got any much interesting news. The Fed could cut rates by 50 basis points again in next meeting. This could be a major bullish catalyst for Bitcoin. Maybe money printer is going to turn on very aggressively just before the election, and we are going to get to that all-time high before the election in November. I want to know your opinion. What do you think? Down below in the comment section. 62,600 is a very good rejection zone. Yeah, without a doubt, I think it is. It is, as we mentioned, on the lower time frames. It is very much. We got the lower high resistance. We got the previous day point of control. We were just off it by a few $100. We're just slightly tapping that high. You know, I have to say, this move is not too aggressive to the downside just yet. It's kind of wanting to hold. I mean, the only scenario that you would have here is an expanding, which would be very, very rare. You didn't get a massive breakdown, I have to say, and I was interested in a big breakdown, but this breakdown is not too aggressive. It's with decreasing volume. The bears are not really stepping in here as we're losing this level, so I need to give the bulls another chance. I mean, the only scenario that we have here is a possible expanding right there to complete the wave C and then double top, unless this is a 1-2 1-2. It is possible as well. You know, we have to take that into consideration. If we did not have this massive breakdown, it's extremely important to understand. What would be a sign of weakness? Well, a sign of weakness would be a solid breakdown here with an increased amount of volume. That would be a sign of weakness, and the retracement here would, if it moves up in a three-wave structure and not a V shape, would be a very, very good way to analyze that. This is probably going to be a wave 2. And we're going to smack back down. But for the moment, it is, volume hasn't kicked in just yet. Once you get that kick in of volume, boom, then yeah, that's obviously bearish for me. That's going to be a bearish sign. The bulls have a slight chance here. They have a slight chance, and this would be extremely rare to form a C wave with an expanding kind of diagonal here. Would be rare, and if it were to bounce and break through, I would just have to come to the conclusion that this has been the wave 1, wave 2, and this is the first wave 1, wave 2 from the third wave, right? That's only if you smash through the level here. So we want to see weakness, we want to see volume coming down, because if not, bears are not stepping in. They're not stepping in, and the bulls, would still have a chance. You need to see that sign of weakness. You need to see that sign of strength of the bears, basically. Iran stopped, so we will pump. Okay, well, has to be a very, very quick wall, right? Stop comparing last cycles, says cutest girl. It can be different. It can absolutely be different. Absolutely. It can. I am sorry. I will not compare last cycles ever again. Please forgive me. I am sorry. I'm sorry. It is different because we did break all-time high before the Bitcoin halving. This never happened on the previous cycles. So it is different already. It is different already. You're right. And I'm sorry. But we need to take a look at cycles, right? We need to take a look at a bit of historical data and, you know, take it into consideration. Not stop comparing last cycles. It could be different. I know it can be different, but so far, we, you know, the 4-year cycle theory with the halving, with the decrease of supply, you know, has been working out pretty good. You know, we do have institutional interest. We do have mass adoption growing at a very rapid pace. So, you know, it could be different, and we're actually going to go to $500,000 in the next coming months, right? That would be different. That would be very different. So, yeah. Love your analysis, bro. BTC boss, I love you too, my man. Thanks for the kind comment. Much love to you, brother. Bearish divergence taking place. Is that on the CVD, on the RSI, or in the stochastic, or on the, you know, other indicator that you're looking? Bearish divergence, or on the volume. We could also have volume bearish divergence, right? It could also be divergence on volume. Let me know if that is CVD. Pop Dog guy knows what he's talking about. Seb, my man. We'll have $50 big money. Yeah, that is the bonus that you do get as you join the World Series of Trading in the next 2 days. Andy is my CME punk. Only need to keep some beard. Yeah. Thanks, my man. Mariella, much love to you. Let me scroll down here. I'm lagging throughout. Oh, we got some... yeah, what's happening here with the comment section? Odin, my man, much love to you, brother. Perhaps a double 1-2 combo, says Devolt. Absolutely. It is possible. It is possible. Yes. Very much. Very much. It is possible. I have to say, we can not only be bearish, we have to look at bullish scenarios as traders. It could definitely be a double 1-2. It could definitely be a 1-2, right? And we are forming the first 1-2 here inside of a larger third wave, right? It could be that we still this for me, you know, the invalidation is pretty clear. I know you know this well as well, Devolt. You know, if we were to get an increase of volume and a solid breakdown here, then, you know, that would be a clear sign of weakness. That would be a clear sign of weakness. I will no longer see this as a possible impulse. I mean, this would be the micro count. I'm not sure if you are talking about the possibility of this being a 1-2. 1-2 right there. I would say unlikely. I would say that this would be part of a corrective structure, because eventually, I mean, it could. It technically could. It technically could, because we have the speculation that this has been a completed 5-wave down. It could definitely be the low. This could definitely be the low, and this could be a 1-2, and we're just forming the 1-2 right there. It is possible. It is definitely possible. I mean, for me, it's going to be if we break down now and, you know, we get another solid move and an increase of red volume, right? That will already be a sign of weakness for me. And I would speculate on a short on the retracement. Me personally, right? I would be speculating on this if we do get a nice move down here with high volume. I would not come with the bullish case of 1 2 1 2. I mean, maybe. Could always get stopped out. I could always get stopped out, right? If we do this and I enter a short position, I would leave some of that long open just to hedge against that possible short. So yeah, I have faith, says Proud Gun Owner. Proud Gun Owner. My goodness, what's going on in the comment section? Have we got a lot of shilling going on here, or is it bad comments? Seb, let me know. I can't believe us mods have to do some work, says Pac-Man. What the heck? Never say you're sorry. Never say you're sorry, says Norpat. Yes, I am sorry. You know, I want to try and please most of the people, most of the viewers, but you know that is impossible, obviously. Bots attack again, says Mariella. My goodness, we got some shilling going on. This is very interesting. Odin, I don't believe it. Odin, message deleted. Odin, what are you doing? What are you doing, Odin? What did you message? Are you shilling something here? My goodness, don't do that. Guys, if you want to see some insane value information in short videos on, you know, with a bit of dancing, you want to follow me on TikTok, guys. There's going to be a little bit of crypto dancing and 1000x kind of thumbnails, next top 3 coins to hold till 2025 kind of videos, right? That get thousands and tens of thousands of views. I'm only joking, guys. You know, I do not post those kind of shorts. But it's, you know, just small little basic stuff, guys. You know, just opened this TikTok Bitcoinsensus account to provide these flashy shorts. You know, also got the Instagram, guys. You got the links down below if you want to follow me on the socials. I'm not going to be providing flashy stories in that. Maybe once in a while. But you got the socials down below, guys. Give us a follow, because, you know, if I do see the people interested in following, then, you know, I will continue. But if I don't, I'll just close the accounts. But I would be grateful if I do see a little bit of support right over there on the socials. TikTok, I don't do TikTok. Yeah, me neither. But you know, it's just there. You know, we know there's a lot of crazy people on TikTok. There's a lot of crazy content there. Yes, I got this link. Screw TikTok. Got you Insta. Harving, thank you very much, my man. They're just short videos. You know, you're not going to see any like pure technical analysis in a short, right? It would be very, very complex to create a good TA in 30 seconds, right? This is why we have the video updates and live streams on YouTube. Andy, let's do a collab on TikTok dance, bro. Absolutely. I'm up for that. I'm definitely up for that. Now, talking of BS, we're getting the views going down because I'm just going through comment section. We're just chatting and chilling. The analysis has been done. I want to see a breakdown here to actually see the sign of weakness. You know, if we do get this breakdown, I would be very, very skeptical on the price forming a higher low here, to be honest, and breaking out. So, yeah, let's see. I would love a back test of this level. If we get that breakdown, you know, I would really just follow the trend. I know we want the reversal. I know, could this be a bump and run? Probably doesn't look like it, guys. Maybe if we do break down nicely in the next coming hour, next 1 to 2 hours, we're probably not done with the impulse. We're probably not done with the impulse, and we just need to be aware. Andy, MX token looks good, says Aditya. Let's take a look at MX token. MX token. Is that 𝗲𝗄𝐶 token? Is that the 𝗲𝗄𝐶 token? MX? It will have to be. MX token. Yeah, it is. It's the 𝗲𝗄𝐶 token. Looks good for... This did incredibly well throughout the bull run. 𝗲𝗄𝐶 token. 𝗲𝗄𝐶 looks good. I guess it looks good for a possible double bottom. right? It looks good for a possible double bottom. What is TikTok? I'm glad you do not know about TikTok. I actually am. It's a very, very flashy social media platform where most of the people like to dance and do, I don't know, funny stuff, I guess. So yeah, I believe we are in a wave 4 and gonna get the wave 5 lower. Invalidation is 62,600. Dr. J, yeah, on Bitcoin, you believe that we are in a wave 4 and we are going to break down here. We are in the formation of a wave 5. In wave 4, and we're going to get a wave 5 lower. Invalidation 62. Yeah, so I assume that you are looking at this still to be part of the impulse, especially with this 3-wave structure. I mean, this does really look at ABC. This does really look corrective, especially as we're losing the lows here. But yeah, you're basically saying that we're still in a 5th wave here. We're actually going to come down to test yesterday's lows. I do believe so as well, especially if we push down ever so slightly now, a bit more with a bit of increasing volume. That would be the ideal. Get a bit of volume increase, and then we can start flipping a bit bearish and say that we have a high probability that this low will be taken. So yeah. Okay, Odin, I hope 𝗬𝗫 doesn't F me over. I hope not. I've been trading on 𝗬𝗫 for just around 2 years now. Obviously on Bybit for over 5 years, but on 𝗬𝗫, I've had no issues at all on 𝗬𝗫, and they are great. They do have the lowest fees out there. It's a great platform to trade without a doubt. You do have a link down below. I think you do get some exclusive bonuses on 𝗬𝗫. 𝗬𝗫 bonus, yeah, $20,000 deposit bonus. If you're interested in using that, then you do get an exclusive bonus. But yeah, 𝗬𝗫, I've been trading for 2 years approximately on 𝗬𝗫 and have had no issue at all whatsoever. My son is 17 years old and just kissed his first girl 2-3 weeks ago. And that is very interesting to know. Good for him. Good for him. Congratulations. Yeah. I can't even remember the last time I kissed anybody. So, yeah. Lucky him. Do you prefer 𝗬𝗫 over Bluffin? They're both great exchanges. They're both very good exchanges. They're both highly liquid. 𝗬𝗫 has, slightly cheaper fees. That has to be said. The fees are better on 𝗬𝗫. But Bluffing is, Bluffing is also a great exchange. It really depends. I think for scalping, I think 𝗬𝗫 is a great option. If you're getting in and out of trades just with movements of $200, right? If you want to get into a move of $200, like a 0.2% move on Bitcoin, I would say that 𝗬𝗫 is a great option. 𝗬𝗫 is a great option just because of the fees. If we want to get into a small move of $200, then yeah, if it's a move of $1,000, right, or $500 or more than $500, then it doesn't really matter. Short trade. Yeah, it does look like we are seeing that weakness coming in. I would still have to give the bulls a possible chance. I want to see a breakdown. I want to see a breakdown. I want to see some volume increasing, not volume divergence. I do not want to see this pump with high volume and the drop with low volume. I don't want to see this. I want to see a volume spike here as we lose the level, and then I would arguably discuss that this looks quite bearish, and the next bounce could be a good attempt for a short position to finally claim the lows from yesterday. But we need a bit of a, this is looking very corrective. It is slowly losing the levels, but it's very slow. If I want to see, if we do get a move down with high volume, then it's going to be looking very good for that quick pullback, and then, you know, look for the next move down to then finally come to the lows. But it's very choppy. There's no intentions here. I mean, even going to the lower time frames, the volume is extremely decreasing, and this is classic for a corrective move. The highest volume has been throughout the pumps today, so I would want to see that spike in volume. And you know, if this suddenly drops down very aggressively, then I will have to miss the short. But I would want to see that movement down, and then the bounce will be very interesting. If it is with decreasing volume and it's very, very choppy, three wavy, right, then I would be very much interested in the back test in the 618, 50%, 618, give or take, bearish CVD divergence. Then I would say we are in for the next leg down, potentially in a third wave, to finally claim those lows from yesterday. But volume is very low, very, very low. Thank God his gender is spot on. Okay. Thank God his gender is spot on. Yeah, you need, you know, I mean, hey, no hate on that, but, you know, I know we live in a crazy world, right? Last few years, we have seen this whole gender thing absolutely skyrocket. There's a bull market, and, you know, in different genders, right? There is a bull market. So, yeah. Andy, do you think America's election will affect BTC or not that much? I think so. I think so, especially if Donald Trump is elected. I'm not sure how, you know, how things are looking, but yeah, I do think that gender bull market for sure. I think the elections will affect the price of Bitcoin. Something curious to see is the election year. When we go to the BLX chart, just to take a look at the entire history of the price of Bitcoin, and there is an indicator which is basically the election year indicator. And I mean, US election, there is actually the US election name and date, or US president election. It's probably this one. Yeah. The election years have been actually quite bullish, but I mean, we're looking at the price of Bitcoin here since its existence, right? It got created on the financial crisis, so we haven't seen a financial crisis, a proper one. We got the C19 crash, but that was an instant recovery. But yeah, election years have been followed by a bullish market move throughout the last decade. Election year, continuation of the bull market eventually throughout late 2020 and beginning of 2021. And we do have the one here happening also. I'm not sure why this is not on the chart, but it should be bullish. It makes sense. We do have a liquidity cycle happening throughout this year and next year. We should be seeing liquidity pumping, an injection. I mean, then we have the recession depression. Then we have the World War III. Then we have, you know, there's a lot of, according to some data, that the bullish scenario is still very much in place. But yeah, then we got the big fat bears, right? The proper bears. I can be intraday bear. I can be bearish for 1 week maybe, or maybe for a higher time frame if we do break certain levels. But there's some perma bears out there, right? There's always some perma bears talking about a recession since 2013, right? We never know when that's going to kick off. So BTC breaking down. Let's take a look. No, that was yeah. Got to break down with high volume. There we got it. We have it. We have it, and we're probably going to get a bounce right now. to that zone. Oof, that's what I want to see. This is actually a pretty no bullish CVD, no bullish CVDs, so we're not getting beneath. That's a good sign. Yeah, this is a clear sign of weakness. Now, what I would want to see is a pullback, which we might get, we might not get. But I would want to see a pullback to at least the 50% Fibonacci. And this would be an interesting zone for a speculation day trade swing short position. Yeah, this does not look too bullish in my opinion. It just does not look like it's going to be a 1-2, 1-2 right there, 3. It does not look like it. You could always have the case. You always need you can not only stick bearish as a trader, you need to see the different possibilities, but your invalidation here would have to be the high. Your invalidation would have to be the high here. And I don't want to jump into short now. I need a bit of a pullback. I need a good entry to speculate on that short. Where's that? The indicator. Somewhere around this zone. Give or take stop loss. And I would be looking for the lows of yesterday to be hit. This really does not look too bullish for me. This really does not look like, I mean, the only bullish case scenario that would be here is a 1-2, and you're just forming the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside of a third wave, which does not look too promising. But it's possible. You just have to have an invalidation point. This would be an invalidation area. And the higher the price goes, the better for your risk management. If you're jumping into a short now, then, where are you putting your stop loss? Is it going to be here? Is it going to be here? Or is it going to be quite wide? I need the pullback. I really need the bounce to manage risk here. Anyway, that's what I want. Very important. Any longs that have entered throughout the day to take those profits. Luckily, I did manage to lock most of the profits. I will be leaving a cheeky small long here, just in case. I might use it as a hedge for a possible short. Just in case. I mean, there is that bullish case which I think is unlikely. Okay, have to say it does look unlikely with this breakdown of high volume. Got a pretty decent move down. There's no bullish CVD divergence. Yeah, there's no lower lows on the CVD, so you are forming higher lows still. There's no. Yeah, it does look like that the bearish momentum is likely to continue. Guys, I'm sweating. I'm tired. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining. I mean, that is the scenario. This might happen in the next hour. I would speculate that the price could go down to the lows. I would really want to see a bounce to that red box zone between 50% and 7-8. Right, it's kind of the zone. That would be the zone. If it just waterfalls from here, then I have to say I missed out on the short. This was an aggressive short entry, but it was kind of acceptable. I mean, it already dropped almost $1,000 from that level when we were talking about the possibility of an ABC here. It's a very aggressive short trade. But, I mean, invalidation could have been the previous day point of control, the 618. If you're speculating that you're in a fourth wave, you just hit 50% right there. If you want to just short here, you're getting an epic entry. You are getting an epic entry. And, you know, your invalidation was relatively clear. Above the resistance, above the previous day point of control, above the 618. And your risk to reward is very nice indeed. Very, very nice. It was actually an acceptable short entry. Because, you know, you just have to have an invalidation, which would have been round about this zone. It was actually okay, because we did hit very nicely the 1-to-1 extension as well. Yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was okay. It was aggressive, short into the pump like sniper. Just have a stop loss, manage risk. It would have been actually an acceptable aggressive short trade. Legends, thank you very much for joining today's live. Take care, Odding. Seb, thank you very much. Mariella, Aditya, you guys rock. Make sure to register for the World Series of Trading, guys, starting next week. You do have a few days, guys. Early birds get $50 bonus. Sign up with the link down below and register for the competition. We're going to absolutely crush it, guys. We're going to get a piece of the cake. Thank you, and I will see you mañana.